So for the past 2+ years or so, everything that I've filmed both professionally and personally has been captured by the Sony FX9, from a variety of client projects to YouTube, music videos, and documentary work. And I've decided to switch to its little brother, the Sony FX6, for a few reasons. The first question we have to answer is why now? The reason I did it now is, for one, because the FX6 was not out when I got my FX9. So had that been the case, I definitely would have gotten the FX6 over the 9 because of me being like a one-man band. 1% of that time that I owned the FX9, I actually was hired to be a camera op / DP for a independent feature film, and I was working with a crew of people, and I needed I needed the extra SDI ports, I needed the XLR to be on body, I needed all the other features that the FX9 offered, because I wasn't the only one operating it at one point. I had focus pullers and all these other people putting their stuff on my rig, and it was beneficial in that situation. And also I was hired because I had an FX9. It kind of worked out in that situation, but that was that's far and few in between. I don't really get those kind of gigs all the time, and I haven't for the past year. So the FX9 was kind of overstaying its welcome with me personally, because like I said, I just film mostly YouTube content, but my job's changing was the main reason as to why I decided to switch to something that was a bit more nimble. Speaking of it being more nimble, the size of the FX6, it's literally like half. The body size is definitely like half of the FX9. The weight, it's a ton lighter and smaller than the FX9, and being that I'm a big guy, don't get me wrong, I'm a big guy. I was holding the FX9 faithfully for handheld shots and running gun stuff, but my back would start to hurt after a little while. So size is definitely one of the biggest factors as to why I switched from the 9 to the 6. Sony did kind of cannibalize the FX9 with some of the features that they decided to put in the 6 over the 9, for instance 4K 120. Granted, it's not something I use all the time, but shooting music videos 120 frames per second is definitely nice. Of course, you have all the normal tropes of music videos where you have super slow-mo, where you have cool lighting going on and it looks doper in slow motion. Music videos are like 50%, 60-70% B-roll, so having nice slow motion to mix it up, and then also mixing in 24, mixing in some fast stuff, speed ramps, it helps having more frames to slow it down. Also, them adding easier RAW capture for the FX9. If I wanted to record in ProRes RAW, I'd have to buy a Ninja V Plus or Ninja V, or the Shogun 7, and then also have to get this big ass extension on the back of the FX9. That's another $2,500, and so you're paying what, $500 for the monitor. You got to buy the SSDs. You got to pay another $2,500 for the extension unit, and then also it's just literally like 2.5 feet long. It's ridiculous. So them adding RAW capture through HDMI to a Ninja V is like, man, I wish that was the case for the FX9, but with time comes more advancements, and they gave the FX6 that really dope feature but didn't pass it over to the FX9. I'm assuming because they have tons of extension units to sell and they didn't want to completely cannibalize that product line, so they had to give you some roundabout way to get ProRes RAW, even though given the size of the camera, it probably could have been internal, but we won't get into that. The next feature is kind of like a light plus. It's like it's there, is the improved low light. Now don't get me wrong, the FX9 with the base ISO of 800 and 4000 was amazing and crisp and clean, very clean blacks for low light. I had a shoot actually with John Rettinger where I was filming his family outside with the outdoor projector, and it was pitch black outside, and the low light performance was amazing. We had one key light set to like probably 5% brightness because we didn't want to blow out the projector screen, and the footage of him and his family came out flawless, and it was super clean and beautiful. So the FX9 is really good in low light, but then I haven't even taken this camera out in low light. I plan to go downtown LA in pitch black and see what it can do in that low light situation, but I can only imagine with another base ISO of 12,800 this thing's gonna see in the dark. Like, I have no doubt in my mind that the low light is gonna blow my mind. Also, I am getting into documentary film more so. I actually just joined the Art of Documentary course, and I'm doing all my research and preparing short docs so that way I can hone in on that skill set. And the fact that the FX6 has the recording cache, or cache, however you want to say it, so that way it records 20 seconds before you hit record, so that way you don't miss moments. It's kind of invaluable for documentary filmmaking. From what I've heard from other filmmakers, including Kofi and Mark Bone, They all say that this recording cache feature is super dope and it actually saves the shot 9 times out of 10. Some of the things that made me comfortable with going over to the FX6 from the FX9 is the fact that it's really familiar. You know, it has the same menu, same VND, same image. Also, the FX6 is cheaper, being that I was able to make the change and not lose money. Selling the FX9 for the FX6 and actually making money was a plus. Even though right now in a down market for the FX9, if you guys don't know, FX9s are selling for as low as $7,000. I was, you know, able to luck out and sell mine for about $8,000. So I was happy with that. Also, I was happy because I actually bought the camera for like $5,000-$6,000. Small story time with that. I actually worked for Sammy's Camera. Being an employee, you get 50% off of certain Sony bodies and lenses and, you know, Sony stuff. So they listed the FX9 in there when it first came out, and I was kind of blown away because that never happened. And I was like, man, this is like my opportunity to get this $11,000-$12,000 camera and not pay $11,000-$12,000 for it. I put that money up front. I put, you know, $11,000-$12,000 down to buy it, and then I got a 50% rebate. So I got $6,000 back, and I also bought it at cost from Sammy. So there's a little bit of money changing there. So I actually ended up paying like $5,500, $6,000 for a $12,000 camera, and then I was able to resell it for $8,000 and buy this camera. So it all worked out in my situation. So I'm more than happy with this camera. Like I said, it made sense financially. I got to pocket some extra change, and I got a camera that suits what I do now more than the camera that I had. The FX6 also just made sense for me because I do want to, you know, film more home videos, and the fact that it's practically handheld dad cam status when you strip it down, and also you can build it up, you know, to be full-blown production camera, and then strip it down to just be your home video camera. The FX6 is a versatile camera, and honestly, I said it back then 2 years ago when I first had the camera in hand. I said, this is the go, this is the pick, this is the one. I'm telling you, this is the one. The FX6 is the one. It's, in my opinion, the most complete camera that you can buy right now if you're looking to get into filmmaking, if you're looking to do videography, whatever the difference is there, if you're cinematography. This FX6 is the most complete camera package right now for the money. And that's, you know, standing toe to toe with the Komodos, with the C70s. I've used all those cameras. The FX6 is the best bang for your buck, and it is the most complete package that you can buy right now, and it's been that case for a while. But yeah, I decided to pull the trigger on the FX6 and flip my 9. I look forward to all the new footage I'll be able to capture with the FX6, and hopefully you guys will look forward to it as well. I'm definitely going to do a few more videos on this camera. Of course, once I, you know, put it through its paces, get used to it, find out, you know, its quirks, and see what it's capable of. But this will be the new camera that you'll be seeing me through. All the videos that you watch on the channel will be recorded with the FX6.